Thanks for joining me on the mat today. A mat is actually all you'll need for today's practice. I'm hoping that this will help to engage us into our practice so that we don't feel lost without our gym or our studio, or maybe someone who comes to our school or place of work for yoga. Join me in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. We'll start with a pranayama or breath work. Samavriti or equal ratio. So you want to make sure that your sit bones are on the mat and lengthen the spine so that the lungs can really fill up. Sometimes when we're hunched down, it's really hard to get a good breath in. So if having a easy seated pose is making it difficult for you to sit up tall, you can lean back against a wall, right? Sometimes that helps, like if it's hard for us to get seated tall, we can go back against a wall and press our body up against a wall. Another option is to set a blanket or a towel underneath the hips. We're just going to take an inhale for 4 counts. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing our awareness to the present moment, what our bodies feel like right now, maybe what our mat feels like. And we'll begin. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale and lower. Trying to really bring that oxygen into the lungs. Inhale fully. And then exhale it all out. All the old air, all the old thoughts. One more inhale up. Exhale and lower. Place the left hand down on the mat. It's okay if you're leaned over a little bit. We're going to inhale the right arm overhead. Try to keep the arm away from the front of the face. That opens up the chest. Exhale and lower. We're going to do the same side 2 more times. Inhale. Maybe broaden out the ribs on the right side of the body. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. And the left side. Inhale. Keeping that arm back toward the ear, toward the back of the head. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Exhaling fully. Inhale. And exhale. Now keep the arms down by the sides and bring the shoulders away from the ears. It may help to press the palms of the hands down toward the mat. So you want to avoid rounding down in order to press the palms down. So if your palms do not touch the mat, then that is okay. Just bring the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to inhale the right ear toward the ceiling. Exhale, chin level with the floor. Inhale, left ear toward the ceiling. Exhale, chin level with the floor. Inhale, right ear toward the ceiling. Maybe bend the right elbow and press the elbow toward the floor. Exhale, lengthen the arm, chin level with the floor. Inhale, left ear toward the ceiling, maybe bend the elbow, press the elbow down. Exhale, level with the floor. 1 more time. Inhale. exhale, inhale, and exhale. Take a breath in here. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, center, sitting nice and tall, lift the ribs forward. Exhale over the left shoulder. 2 more times. Inhale, center, keeping that chin slightly tucked. Exhale over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. This time, shake your head a couple times, very slowly. Yes. And inhale, center. Exhale, left. Say yes a couple times. Inhale, center. And exhale. Take your fingers in front and just walk your hands out as far as you can comfortably. Tuck your low belly in. And we've got the fingertips on the floor like little spider. A nice spider. Maybe round the back, bring the chin toward the chest. Walk the hands back and come up. If it's accessible, cross the legs the other way. So we'll move into some little circles with the body. Try to keep the hips on the floor. Inhaling, coming forward, ribs come forward. Exhale, round the back. One more this direction. Inhale and exhale. We're going to switch directions. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, ribs come forward, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Now forward to back. Inhale, ribs toward the front. Exhale, round your back, tuck your low belly in. Inhale, ribs to the front. Exhale, round your back, chin toward the chest. One more. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and come center. We're going to bring our legs out in front of us for Dandasana or staff pose. Now for some of us, staff pose is quite challenging. It takes a lot of core strength to sit up tall like this. So if you need assistance, you can use a wall, just like we did with Sukhasana. You can scoot back against a wall and that will help you. Just make sure you're trying to engage, or put a blanket or a towel underneath your sit bones. Just make sure that you're tilted forward. All right, inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're just going to bring the arms down alongside the body and try to get as tall as we can. Lift the ribs forward. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. We're going to bend the right knee. And we're going to hug that knee into the chest as close as we can. Lift the right arm up on an inhale. Exhale and twist toward the right. Look over your right shoulder. We're going to stay there and take 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Sit up nice and tall. Ribs toward your thigh. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And on the exhale, come around to the center. We're just going to switch legs. Right leg out, left leg in. Hug that knee in toward the chest. Again, it takes a lot of core strength to sit up nice and tall. Inhale, the left arm comes up. Exhale, twist toward the left. Keep looking over your left shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. ribs toward your thigh, breathe in, and on the exhale, come center. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet toward each other. Take the feet out. If you're seated like I am, where you're facing the long side of the mat, bring your feet off of the mat. So it's not quite Baddha Konasana. It's not quite cobbler's pose. If you look down at your legs, they're kind of shaped like a diamond. And bring your hands to your shins, whatever's accessible. We're going to start to tuck the chin, but sit up nice and tall. Tuck that low belly in. And then hinge forward. Reach the ribs toward the mat. And come up. Now the ribs may not touch the mat. They may be really far away. Tuck the chin, sit up nice and tall. You can use the hands against the shins to kind of help you get a little bit of leverage to pull forward. And come up. One more, just like that. Sit up nice and tall. Tuck the chin. Hinge forward. So low belly tucks under. Ribs toward the mat. And come up. Nice. So we're going to bring the legs out long again for our Dandasana. And this time we're moving toward head to knee, or Janu Shirsasana. So you'll take your right foot, you're going to bend it in just like we did earlier, or your right leg, but you're going to let your knee fall out to the side. So we want our sit bones on the mat, sitting up as tall as we can. Inhale the left arm up this time. Exhale, reach the left hand toward the foot. It does not have to touch. We're using the strength in the belly to reach. Inhale up. So be certain to tuck the chin just slightly so we aren't trying to reach with our neck. Exhale, reach toward that foot. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, reach toward the foot. And then grab onto whatever's accessible. So it may be your thigh, right? Or it could be your shin, or it could be your foot. And then reach the ribs forward without reaching the chin forward. Reach the crown of the head forward. And imagine that the ribs are going to crawl up the thigh. So our ribs are what's reaching toward the thigh. Then start to flex the foot even more and start to look down towards your shin and then towards your belly. And come all the way up. So we'll switch sides. The right leg's out this time. Bend your left knee. And we'll let the knee fall out to the side. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, just reach forward. Tuck the chin slightly. Inhale up. Exhale, reach forward. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, reach forward, and then whatever's accessible, your thigh, your shin, or your foot. Reach the ribs forward, tuck the chin slightly so we're not reaching with our chin. Try to crawl the ribs up the thigh, and then start to tuck the chin. Maybe look at your shin, and then maybe look towards your belly. And then slowly come up. So we're going to move on to all fours. Hands and knees. The hands are under the shoulders, wrists under the shoulders, and as much as possible, knees under the hips. So we're going to inhale and reach the ribs toward the mat, press the sit bones back. Exhale, round up like a kitty cat that wants its back scratched. Inhale, ribs forward. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, ribs forward. Exhale, round. Keep breathing. Walk your hands a little farther forward and then sit your hips back as close to your heels as you can. Now for some friends that's really challenging to do. You can tuck your toes and just sit back as much as possible, or if your hips will rest back on your heels, that's fine too. Whichever is accessible and comfortable for you. So sometimes we can get the head to the mat, and if that's not possible, we can always cross our arms and rest our head on our forearms. All right, we're going to come onto the forearms and then slide forward and lie all the way onto the belly. So now we're in Sphinx pose. The elbows are under the shoulders, and rather than sinking down into the shoulders, we're pushing our forearms and our hands down so our shoulders get away from our ears. Push the pelvis down, the hip bones down toward the mat, and use the hands to kind of pull towards you so that we lengthen the spine. Lengthen the legs back behind, maybe even point the toes and lengthen the legs so much the kneecaps come off the mat. And then we'll come down onto the mat for crocodile. Cross the forearms, forehead on the mat. A couple breaths there. And then bring the arms alongside of the body. Maybe the left side of the face is resting on the mat. We're going to have a few different variations of Shalabhasana. So what we'll start with is tucking the toes and lengthening the legs so that the kneecaps come off of the mat and lower. Do that a couple more times. Lengthen and lower. One more, lengthen and lower, then untuck. This time the upper body's going to lift, so we're going to lift the shoulders off the floor. Lower, let the other side of the face rest down. Lift upper body. Exhale, lower. One more, upper body. Exhale, lower. And this time upper and lower. So lift the legs and the shoulders off. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, and lower. We're going to bring our left arm over our head. And we'll roll over onto our left side with our knees bent. All right, so this is a little bit of a balancing act, another strengthener for our core. While we're on the mat with our knees bent, start to try to lengthen them. So maybe start with the top leg, lengthen that leg, and see if we can get the inside of that foot on the mat. And then lengthen the left leg. You can cross it in front or in back. If they are not stacked, we have a little bit more that we're balancing on. Otherwise, if you want to stack your feet, that gets a little bit more into balance. So we could stay there, or you can try lifting your front hand off the mat. Long, lengthened breaths. So sometimes when we're in a pose, we forget about our breath and we'll start breathing shallow. So you can lengthen the whole body. Lengthen the legs, lengthen the torso, lengthen the breath. We could stay there, or try to lift the right foot off of the either the floor or off of the left foot. Just lift it up, and we can see, can I grab my ankle, or can I get yogi toe hold? So even though we're lying down on the mat, this is a challenging balancing pose. Flex the bottom foot strongly, and that helps. You might even get to lengthen that top leg. Bend the knee, lower the hand and the leg. And then we're going to sit up just for a moment for a deer pose. All right. So the left side of the hip is on the mat, okay, and our legs are over to the right side. Knees are bent. Again, this can be a deceiving pose because it does take some core strength to sit this way. Okay, we'll take the right hand behind, inhale the left arm up, exhale, twist toward the right. We're going to take 2 breaths here, lift those ribs up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring the feet to the other side. And we're going to come and lie down on the right side. So our right arm is over our head. And we'll move toward our little balancing act. So knees are bent at first, then we start to lengthen the legs. If the feet are not stacked, that helps with balance. Otherwise, you can try to stack the feet and flex the feet, lengthen those legs. Maybe try to lift the left hand. If that is accessible, try to lift the left leg. Maybe bend the knee and see, can I grab my ankle? Can I grab my toe? Maybe even lengthen the top leg, bend the knee, and we'll place the leg and the hand back down. So we'll bend the knees, and we're just going to press ourselves up to a seated position for our deer pose. Okay. Left hand goes behind the back. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist toward the left. 2 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come center. We're going to lengthen our legs out toward the short edge of the mat and come back onto our forearms. Okay, so sometimes when we are in this position, we'll slouch down, kind of slump down into our shoulders. We want to press up out of the shoulder girdle and keep the chin tucked. We could stay there or bring the hands to the mat behind us and start to lengthen the arms. We could stay there, or you can take the feet to the mat about hip distance apart and move into a reverse tabletop. So we're going to lift the hips up on an inhale, exhale, and lower. So we're going to press the inner and outer edges of the feet down. Inhale and exhale. We have one more. Inhale and exhale. Lengthen the feet or the legs. Come back onto the forearms and lower back to the mat. So we're moving toward our Savasana. We're not quite there yet. First, hug the knees into the chest. This is an Apanasana. Apa is water. Think of calm and peaceful. So there's calm and peace in our mind. Switch directions. All right, the left arm is out to the side and let the knees fall over to the right. So if the shoulder pops up off of the mat, that's okay, but just try to get a twist so that the upper body is reaching toward the left and the lower body is reaching toward the right. You can even look over your left shoulder. And then slowly come center. We're going to hug the left knee into the chest as we lengthen the right leg. And switch. And then hug both knees into the chest, and this time we're going to let them fall to the left as the right arm comes out to the side. So if the shoulder pops up, it's okay. Just reach the upper body toward the right and the lower body towards the left. Looking over the right shoulder, that way we get a little twist in the entire length of the spine. Relaxing all the muscles in the back from the neck to the shoulders, all the way down the back, the hips. And then slowly come center. Lower the feet to the floor and then lengthen the legs. So we are moving towards Savasana. So you stay on your back on Savasana, in Savasana. I'll give a few cues to help, hopefully. Feel the weight of the body relax down into the mat. Notice your breath. Relax the jaw, relax the muscles in the face, and if it's comfortable, close the eyes and let the eyes just kind of sink back into their sockets. Notice whether the teeth are touching. If they are, try to relax the jaw so that the teeth are no longer touching. Maybe wiggle the shoulders so that the shoulders are relaxed. And just a little closing thought for the end of our practice today. While you're in Savasana, and you can stay there as long as you like, even after the closing thought. Sometimes life has a lot of changes in it, and they can be challenging to deal with. And it can be frustrating, and we are uncertain because our schedule is not what it used to be, and it just makes us feel uncomfortable and perhaps anxious. Practicing yoga can help bring us into the present moment so that rather than thinking about the way things were, the way things are, the way things might be, we think about, well, how are things right now? And right now, hopefully, they're pretty good. You're comfortable, relaxed, at peace. In Psalm 46:1, we can read, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in time of trouble. So refuge is a safe place to go. A present help. That means right now, where we are in time of trouble. And the trouble can just be uneasiness. It can be a change in schedule. It doesn't have to be something monumental. Anything that troubles us, that disturbs us. God is present, and He is helping us. So if the Creator of the entire universe is present to help us, we have no need to be troubled. Stay in Savasana as long as you like, or you can join hands together. Namaste.